Hi Lex, I give you permission to use this video publicly. So I'm doing this video as quickly as I can. I just got up, but I really think it's important to try to get through, and I imagine that the first videos that get on that list will be the first you will see. So I'm trying really hard to get this message through because that's what I do. It's my life's purpose. So I live in Catalonia, but it doesn't really matter where I live. What matters is that I've realized that the whole system is corrupt by the social economic system. And it's fundamental that we understand this, that we understand that in a system where we work for profit, where we have to compete to survive, it is impossible to have higher values. Why? Because it is always more expensive and more costly and takes more time to take care of other people, to be generous, to be kind, and to take care of the environment. And therefore, in order to survive, we have to abandon those values to be competitive. Because if not, we aren't competitive enough and we lose our capacity to earn a living. So this is something that happens at a small scale, and it also happens at a large scale. So companies, people, even if they have income, even if companies have a lot of income, there's always this lagging threat. There's always this undermining threat of losing to the competition, and going out of business and losing our job. And so it's a dictatorship, and we all are pushed into a rat race to the bottom. And to the bottom means that we can't have values. It means that we have to be sociopaths, because that is what is most competitive in the short term. And that is what is measured. Because if not, when we lose our job, it happens fast. It can happen in a year, it can happen in 2 years. And that is short term. That is not long term. Long term is generations. So this is really fundamental that people understand this. It is absolutely crucial that people understand this, because if not, we won't solve our problems. We won't solve all the problems that exist today, which are all basically that people are egotistical. And they are egotistical because they are trying to survive in a competitive system. We are forced to be egotistical. We are encouraged to be egotistical. We are encouraged to be egotistical by a marketing system that is necessary for businesses to work. The present consumer system is fueled on consumption. So it is fueled on consumption, which means that we always have to consume more and more. So it cannot be sustainable. And how does that work as well? Well, there is a giant marketing business commercial enterprise to advertise. So advertising and marketing is it costs us, on the society level, we're spending more than $1 trillion every year on advertising and marketing. And what is that? That is promoting consumption. How do we promote consumption? We promote insecurity and we promote selfishness. And so essentially, we are spending that much money every year on promoting selfishness and promoting our lower instincts. So obviously, this is the result we're seeing. Okay, and this we have to change this now. For people to understand how we got here, it's relatively simple. What happened is that the human being became the largest creature, the most effective creature in hunting. And so what happened is that we started to outgrow we didn't have any predators. Right? Most creatures are kept in check by predators, but we did not. We overcame all predators, and therefore, what happens is that we started not being checked in numbers. We didn't have anything that would keep our numbers down. So that we grew to a point where we started to reach the limits of our resources for our population. And what did we do? We adapted to that. Like the body starts consuming itself when hungry and without food. The human culture, human society, adopted what the Romans would call homo hominis lupus. So man became wolf to man. Man became predator to ourselves. And we needed to do that to keep our populations in check. And that culture is a culture of competition that has kept going till now. And that is especially taught in elite circles, because they understand that they had to keep the populations reduced. So basically, that's where we adopted this culture of competition, and we bred this culture of war, and it was to survive. It was completely for survival's sake. It's not that it was evil. It was necessary for survival. But we've reached a point in our society now that population can be controlled in peaceful means by choice, and we see that because in rich countries, population is actually reducing. Why? Because we have birth management system. We have birth control. We have birth control, and we also have automation that can produce plenty for everyone. So with those two things that exist nowadays, and they've only existed in this last generation of ours, our human culture hasn't caught up. It hasn't been brought up to date. And so we are continuing with this competitive system, this competitive culture, which will essentially it'll kill ourselves, because it is self-destructive, like when the body eats its own self, right? Because it doesn't have any food. It's the same type of idea, but it's at a cultural, at human level. And we need to end this competitive culture. So, how do we do that? How do we end the competitive culture? First, so basically, it's a very simple method. It's very simple, but it actually is very effective, okay? And I call it prosocializing. So, how do we prosocialize? One, we promote altruism. There are many ways to do that. Many different books can be written on how to promote altruism. But we have a huge industry that is, and billions of people that that promote things every day to survive, and they're very good at it. And there's a lot of information about how to promote things. But essentially, it's teaching that we are all interconnected. And so you always talk about love. So what we're talking about now is manifesting love and teaching people how to love. So we're teaching people the need to take care of each other, that everybody has all their needs met. A flower grows beautiful when it has everything it needs. It grows to be a magnificent plant when it has everything it needs. Human beings, the same. When human beings have all their needs met, they grow to be magnificent, productive creatures. But they need their psychological, emotional, physical, and social needs met. Okay? So, we promote altruism. That's the first step of prosocializing. The second is organizing altruism with what we call free collaboration networks. Now, there are many different kinds of free collaboration networks. A library is a free collaboration network. A carpooling group of friends is a free collaboration network. A community swimming pool of an apartment building. The swimming pool of an apartment building that's shared. That's a free collaboration network. So basically, it's any system or organization or tool that is designed for people to share resources freely, for free. It's very important that these things are for free, okay? And we have to find ways to motivate people, but that's a science, and people are mostly motivated by being part of something, autonomy and purpose, and mastery. So that's what motivates people. But that's another story. So what do we have? We have promoting altruism, and we have organizing altruism with free collaboration networks. And the last is teaching people how to do these things. Teaching people how to prosocialize. Teaching people how to actually make love a real thing. And what does it mean to love? Well, it means to care for other people's needs. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And it really is simple. It really is simple. And you need to talk about this more, to teach people how to do this for real. How to love, how to meet others' needs, and how fundamental it is that everybody's needs are met. It is fundamental. If not, we will end up killing ourselves, by killing each other, by killing the environment. And it really is simple. 30 minutes a day, and anyone can greatly improve their community and the world by doing these three things: promoting altruism, organizing altruism, and teaching others how to foster altruism. Okay? And I would love to be on your show if you want me to talk about this more. You can find me at changingtheworldiseasy.com. And but it really is basically that simple, and it's people just need to do it consciously and regularly. Just like exercise, when done consciously and regularly, it greatly improves our lives. Or meditation, these things seem very simple. They are very simple, but when they're done regularly and consciously, they have a huge effect on us, a huge but beneficial effect. So, yeah, keep up the great work. I love your show, and we got this. We got this. So enjoy a shared world.